Be good.
Yeah, it'd be good. Okay, looks like we good. Okay.
Um,
Should be good. Should be
don't
popping
see
up
the
any minute
link
now.
yet. Yeah, I'll just wait. I'll just keep refreshing because that's what we do.
Yeah. All right.
Um, oh, there we go.
Be good. Yeah, it'd be good. All
Yeah,
right.
okay. So let me just make a
Awesome.
real quick announcement. We are live with episode 18 of Football for Fun. All right. I think Oh yeah, and I'll put it in chess.com just because
Why not?
yep,
We'll totally get a response there this time.
totally.
I love how we always post stuff there and then it just gets ignored. It's great. Love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone
Yeah,
continues on
okay.
as if nothing happened. Okay, we good?
It's episode 18, right? Is it?
I
I
think
think it
so.
is.
I,
Well,
I think
okay.
it was. I mean, we're going with it at this point.
Yeah,
Too
I guess
late.
so. Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Welcome everyone to episode 18 of Football for Fun. I am Depressed the Texans fan.
I'm Delusional, the Panthers fan. Welcome on in, everybody. How's it going?
How's it going? I mean, pretty boring off season. Not a lot of news, but we're gonna make the most of it. We will continue to go live every week we can, and yeah, I don't know. That's just about it. Any I don't know, any news or anything coming out like recently? I don't really think there's been anything
I've heard nothing.
substantial.
It's nothing but rumors at this point. Hey, we got Dalvin Cook. We got DeAndre Hopkins taking visits and considering his options. Who knows? Like, we're just waiting at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Aaron Rodgers is supposedly gonna speak at some ayahuasca conference or something like that.
That'll be fun. Yes, yes. I'm
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure that'll go
he
well.
said, yeah, and I saw a quote that he was basically in 2019 before I took ayahuasca, I threw I think it was 28 touchdowns and 8 picks or I don't know, something like that. Then in 2020 when he started taking it, he had an MVP season. So he was I think people can tell the difference and he seems to be all for legalizing it, not surprisingly, but honestly, that's the best news we're getting maybe. It's kind of boring.
The
But
fact that
yeah,
that's the best news we've got is really concerning.
mhm. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a few more weeks of that, most likely. So yeah. With that said, we will primarily focus this on Q&A. So if you drop questions in the Discord, there were a lot of questions by the same people, to be frank. We're probably not answering every single question. We'll kind of pick and choose, honestly, because we do want to talk about topics that we want to talk about. And if you have any
What
questions in the
topics?
chat,
We have
uh,
topics.
I mean,
I'm not ready for this.
the questions are topics, aren't they? Sort of like mini topics, like
I
stuff we
mean,
can talk
maybe.
about. I mean, all that to say, we'll talk about what we want to talk about. And if you have any questions in the chat, feel free to drop them. And if by a small minuscule chance you're new to the channel, welcome. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and join our Discord. If you want to know
Yeah,
our
trust
Discord,
trust me,
ask one of
we have
us.
much better content on the way. When football season is actually here. We haven't got a whole lot
Definitely,
to do
yeah,
right now, but we're trying our best.
yeah, and we're trying to go on a schedule as far as videos go. I've posted a couple videos, it's off season stuff, rankings and things like that, but we're trying to keep it interesting, just trying to keep stuff flowing. Then once the season starts, it's just going to be crazy. So yeah, I think with that said, we can go into some questions if that
Yeah,
sounds
let's
good
get
to
to it.
you. Let me go, just give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I really have to pick and choose what I want to answer. Okay, I guess this is a good question. Will D Hop and Dalvin Cook be signed as a package, as Cook apparently wants? I
I
thought it was
doubt it.
Hopkins who's. I thought it was Hopkins. He said it would be cool. Maybe they both said it. I'm kind of out of touch
I
with
heard Cook
that.
said it. He said it would be really cool
Okay,
or
maybe he
whatever.
did say that.
Maybe they both
Yeah,
said it. I don't know. I don't know.
I think
I
Hopkins said
doubt that
something like it
happens
would
just
be.
because of the money. You know?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it sounds good in theory. Like it just kind of reminds me of how apparently all these star wide receivers, maybe not necessarily star, but a bunch of receivers were calling Patrick Mahomes about joining the team. And like, did any of these big name, expensive free agent receivers like join Patrick Mahomes, or did they, go for the money? Like, I think they did that. So,
Hmm.
you know, I mean, with that sort of thing, like talk is very cheap. They'd have to like take a serious discount to play with each other, and like, I've even like why would they team up? Like, do they have a connection? Like, did they go to school together? I don't think they did.
I
Like,
think it's just like
are
they're
they
both super
buddies?
talented special players, and they're just their combined talent heading to the same team. You know, the Super Bowl contender, perhaps. I think
Yeah, then
that's
like,
just
I
the idea
mean,
there.
in theory, you could have tried to like make the case. Now, I guess this would have been more ridiculous, but like Hopkins and OBJ combined with some team to have the scariest receiving room in the NFL. But like, it just, yeah. Besides that, it just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Like, it would make somewhat sense if they had like they were just friends. Maybe they are friends. I don't know, or had gone to the same school or were childhood friends, something like that. But in this instance, sorry, in this instance, just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, yeah, I would agree. Like, it just comes down to money, and I mean, it would probably like it's like how much do you want to spend on them combined? Like,
I think it makes sense if they're both
maybe.
willing to play for cheap, and if they go to a team that needs them, like Buffalo. Like they could
Mhm.
use a running back, they could use another receiver. Like that should be in consideration for both of them. So that makes sense
Yeah,
if they're willing to take massive pay cuts. But if they're not willing to take pay cuts, then they're not teaming up. There's no shot.
yeah, because like I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I'd pay them like 15 million combined, and it sounds like Hopkins wants at least 15 million based on what I'm hearing. So
Yeah,
like,
Cook wants a
you
solid
know,
10 million too.
yeah, so like it would just be a big portion of the salary cap for now. Hopkins could still be very productive. No, they're both going to be very productive, but they're also very old and expensive. Not very old, I guess, but they're, you know,
Yeah, they're
I
entering
mean,
they're leaving their prime, right? Like they haven't
yeah,
got
they could
many
just,
productive seasons left, if
yeah,
any.
exactly. Yeah. Um, why are the Steelers signing so many linebackers? I almost said left backers, like combining
What's a
left
left
tackle and
backer?
linebacker. Yeah.
That sounds like
Uh,
an epic position to play.
exactly. Left backer. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll play left backer.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like the culture. I mean, I feel like the Steelers, like historically, they've like, prioritized defense and just having like a big physical defensive team. And I guess linebackers just help with that. I don't
I
know.
mean,
Would you?
linebacker tends to be like the soul of your defense at times. Like I watched Luke Kuechly for Carolina. He was the sole captain of our defense when he was here, and
Yeah, definitely.
it's good to just be sure you got plenty of depth at that position. Make sure you get your choice right for who the linebackers are going to be. That's the best I could say for that. Like, it's an important position, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
and
being
like a
careful, I
lot of
guess.
the elite pass rushers, not all of them, some of them are like just, on the defensive like end position, but like Von Miller, Khalil Mack, someone else I was thinking of. Oh, Micah Parsons, they play
Miles
linebacker.
Garrett.
Um
Yeah.
Miles Garrett's more of an end, right? Or am I
Did you
mistaken?
not say that? Am I hearing things now?
No, I said Micah
Uh,
Parsons.
okay, no, never mind. Just moving on. Moving on. I said
Yeah,
Miles
Miles
Garrett.
Garrett is an edge. Micah Parsons is the linebacker. Now, I guess Micah. I don't really watch the Cowboys too much. Maybe they move him in different places, but
No, they move him all over the field.
yeah, move him at like
He,
punter.
man does everything. Okay, like he could be the
Yeah,
quarterback.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. He probably, yeah. So
Coming
all that
next
to
season.
say, I don't know. I think it just sets the tone. Like if you have like good linebackers, and I mean, ultimately, TJ Watt like is kind of the cornerstone of that defense. And I know there are like other players like Minka Fitzpatrick comes to mind. They have like other players, but I would say that like TJ Watt, and coming from a Texans fan who watched JJ Watt, like a player and personality like that is really going to like take over the locker room. So I would imagine that like, if TJ Watt's like the heart and soul of that, maybe they want to get like other people to like try to replicate that. So like I don't know, that's just kind of a theory, but I think it just comes down to the heart and soul of the team in simple
Mhm.
terms. Yeah. What's the best? Okay, I did decide to answer. It is kind of interesting. What's the best draft pick ever? I mean, by player and value, it has to be
When
Tom
you it's
Brady,
Brady,
right?
right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of
Mhm.
value as well because I mean, for example, Peyton Manning. Like now, obviously, he was a great draft pick, but he was number one overall. Like you had to
Yeah,
draft
he
like
was
one
supposed to be a
overall to
great
get
draft
him.
pick.
Yeah, whereas
Yeah.
Tom Brady, every single team, unless there was a team who didn't get a pick until the sixth, but I'm
No,
pretty
like
sure that's not the
all
case.
32 teams, 32, all the teams passed on him,
Yeah,
even the
everyone
Patriots.
like everyone passed on him. And then I guess like in recent history, you have to say Mahomes. And he is a value pick as he was like 10th overall, right?
Yeah, he was 10th. Chiefs traded up for him, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so several teams did pass up on him and also frankly pass up on the chance to trade up for him, cuz like you could think of it like, oh, 9 teams passed on Mahomes. I'm sure like there are several other teams who could have traded up for him and they just pass on the opportunity to do so. Now,
Right.
at the time maybe it wouldn't have made sense. Like let's say I don't know. It wouldn't have made sense for, say, the Patriots if they were drafting at 30 to trade all the way up to like, 10. Like at the time they would have been ridiculed for it,
This is
but
true. This is true. In
it would have
retrospect, they should have done that.
I mean, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. So in recent memory, what about like, and we can say recent memory, non-quarterback. What are some good life picks that come to mind?
How about Tyreek Hill? He went in a later round,
Ooh.
right? One of the best
Yeah, he
receivers in
was
the
like
game
sixth round
nowadays.
pick, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I like that too. I guess that's a little bit earlier than I was thinking, but that's a good answer.
Sixth round is too early.
No, I was saying the year because I'm thinking
Oh,
like
okay.
recent memory. I think he got drafted a while ago, but yeah, no, yeah, that's a good answer. Two answers came to mind for me. Micah Parsons and Justin Jefferson. Given that they're just some of the best players in the league and they weren't like top 5 draft picks,
Yeah, but they're
maybe
still
Micah.
first round picks, though.
Yeah,
I
wasn't
think Parsons
Jefferson
was
like
14 and Jefferson was 22, if I'm not mistaken on that.
Jefferson at 22 is some good value. I know they're
Yeah.
not like second or third round picks, but like if you had to do a redraft, like those guys are going to the top 5 for sure, right?
Yeah,
Okay, maybe with
absolutely.
Cord.
First
I
non
know
quarterbacks.
I know Jefferson was in a stacked quarterback class, and maybe that's a little bit difficult. Like
No, I think he'd still go
Burrow,
top five,
Herbert,
though.
probably. Yeah, he'd probably just be the first. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anyone obvious. He's probably the first non-quarterback to go.
Very likely. Very likely.
Although that was a stacked draft class. I'm actually just curious. That was the 2020 NFL draft class, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly, actually, that does remind me. During the boring off season, we should do some redrafts. That would be cool. Um, so I
There will
would
be no
say
bias in that.
definitely. Okay, so I'm just skimming through this. So the top 3 picks, I think we can safely assume would be Burrow, Herbert, and uh, Jalen Hurts. Now you
Also
can
depends on
argue.
who's drafting them, though.
I mean, yeah, but like, yeah, I mean that's also true. I think because yeah, I mean Bengals would take Burrow. Redskins
Yeah.
slash Commanders should definitely take a quarterback. I guess at the time, who was their quarterback? Was it
Nope,
like was it
nobody
Dwayne
good.
Haskins? I think it was Dwayne Haskins, and maybe
Was
with
it?
Alex Smith coming back. I think so. They just didn't take a quarterback, which is crazy. Let me see. 2020 Washington Redskins. The quarterback room was Heineke, Steven Montez, and Alex Smith, who I think was trying to recover from his injury. And then like I thought they had I thought they had Haskins. Maybe wait, was Haskins
I think maybe he was the year before.
he def you know
'Cause
what? I
he
think
got
on
cut
the
by the
Wikipedia,
team.
yeah, he did get cut. I think that's what's showing. Like he got cut like during the season. So I think to
Mm.
going into the season he was on the depth chart. So
Yeah, that
yeah,
might
I
have been
would
it.
definitely then the Lions, yeah. So let's say like Bengals take Burrow at 1, and then who would you take? Herbert or Jalen at 2? Probably Jalen or
Mm,
It depends.
that's super tough because we've seen Jalen have more success, but Herbert might be the better quarterback. He's just on the Chargers, so I don't know. You could
Yeah.
go either way with that. Just a preference, I guess. Depends
Yeah,
on
I
what fits their
guess.
offense. Probably Herbert for
Yeah,
that
let's.
offense.
I'd say Herbert because I think Jalen is more of like a project. I mean, he's turned out to be really good, but to be fair, he's only had one good year.
He was in a
So
great
let's
system too.
yeah, so
Surrounded by the best talent in the league.
let's say Burrow went one to the Bengals, Redskins took Herbert at two. So if you're the Lions at three, even though you have Matthew Stafford, do you just draft Jalen Hurts if you know he's going to be this good? I
I mean,
mean,
if you know he's going to be that good, then yeah, you take Hurts and you trade
okay.
Stafford.
So all that to say, I think it's safe to say that quarterbacks would go one, two, and three.
Hmm.
Burrow, Herbert, and Jalen. Let me just make sure. I know Jordan Love was in that draft class, but he doesn't like. I mean, he becomes
Yeah, he
something.
might not even be a first rounder in this.
You know what's like hilarious? This is actually pretty freaking hilarious. I was actually randomly looking at this Wikipedia article earlier. And like one of the paragraphs says, this draft class is noteworthy for producing one of the strongest quarterback classes in NFL history, which I would probably agree with
Yeah,
five Pro
yeah.
Bowlers, spearheaded by number one pick Joe Burrow, followed by Tua, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and Tyler Huntley. They use Tyler Huntley in the same sentence that it's one of the most stacked draft classes in the world, like ever. Like,
I mean, they're not wrong.
I guess
Technically,
there's also, yeah, I kind of
that's
forgot
great.
about Tua, although I don't think Tua should really be in the conversation like that high. I mean, I think he's really good, but he
Hey, give it
probably
a
would
year.
be
Give it a
like,
year.
he'd probably be like, mid first round pick, maybe like
Yeah,
top.
maybe
Yeah.
someone picks him for his talent, but
So
yeah, he's
yeah,
not
if
in the
I'm
top
like,
five.
so if I'm the Giants at four, and I had just drafted Daniel Jones the year before, that might be
That's
where
where
you
you take
start.
Jefferson.
I mean, yeah, God knows they need a receiver. I'm just trying to see like CD, no, Jonathan Taylor definitely not. Yeah, I think that's where you would. Yeah, I think Justin Jefferson would probably go number four in a redraft. And then you know, Dolphins at five could take Tua. I mean,
I mean, they
you
might as
know,
well take him at that point.
yeah, they needed a quarterback, right? Like they
They
did they
did.
have they had Fitzpatrick, I think, but
That
he's
that was
not.
the year they were like almost historically bad until their players just decided to play and win.
It was the year before, right? In 2019.
Yeah, that season, and they got the fifth overall pick
Yeah,
when they
yeah,
were
'cause they just
tanking.
got that pick. Yeah, exactly. So
So
yeah,
they had a very talentless roster at the time.
right. So yeah, Tua would probably go five, and I mean, the Chargers would probably take like I don't know, like yeah, and then it just kind of I mean Trayvon
Tyler
Diggs or
Huntley.
Edie, yeah, exactly. They do need a Pro Bowler. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing any obvious picks, any like undrafteds, but yeah, that's an interesting discussion. What were we talking about? Um, oh yeah, best draft pick. So yeah, I was just saying that
That's
like
what we were talking about. Yeah, we got way off topic.
yeah, so I guess I would say for like non-quarterbacks, I really like Justin Jefferson based on value, and that's assuming that like he just sustains. I mean, if he like falls off somehow, that would like change things. But he seems to be on track to just be one of the best receivers of all time, like without a doubt. And if he's like the next Randy Moss or Jerry Rice as far as that goes, then like getting him at 20 or 22 or whatever it was is just such a steal.
That's fair.
But I also
That's
do.
fair.
I mean, in that same vein, Tyreek Hill's a really good value then because like maybe
Sixth
he's
round
not
pick.
like yeah, maybe he's not like all time great, but certainly in our generation, he's like up there. And like, yeah, I'm a Texans fan. I've seen him play on the Chiefs like a number of times. It's just like, nope.
I
It's
mean,
just
if we're
painful.
picking like best pick recently, I'm gonna give it to Mahomes just because he's already won two Super Bowls, easily the best quarterback in the game today, and arguably the most talented ever. Just
Yeah, but what
with
about
his arm talent.
non-quarterback?
With non-quarterbacks, I might agree Justin Jefferson right now. For
Yeah,
recently.
and I am on board. I agree. Like Mahomes is the best pick, recently, but non-quarterback. I mean, I could like maybe look, but probably Jefferson.
Jalen Hurts was a steal. That is also true. He was taken second round,
That
right?
was a big steal, especially if he sustains it. That's a pretty big steal.
It's
And
funny
that
because
was
that
like
looked so bad at the time too.
yeah, because they had Carson Wentz on the roster, and it was like
How
oh, we're just gonna
funny.
draft a quarterback in the second. It's like second round's tricky because it's not like because if you wanted a backup, you could just take a backup at like 4 or 5 or something like that. But
Mhm.
they saw something in him. No, yeah, that is a really good point. All right. Um, what makes a okay? What makes a QB superior to all other QBs? Like basically, like what separates. I guess you could take it however you want, but like what
I
separates
mean, there
like
are lots of factors to that, right? Like you got like actual results on the field. So you got, I'd say, the mental game plays a big part in that. That's what made Brady so great. He had the mental game, high
yeah,
IQ. Same
Breeze?
with Peyton Manning too.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah, definitely.
accuracy. How accurate you are in the field matters a lot. If you're inaccurate, you're going to be turning it over more often than not.
Yeah,
But yeah, my,
definitely.
my first answer would just be how smart you are on the field.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I think, those are some really good answers. Yeah, I think yeah, I mean, I think it's just like you just have to be like better at like everything or like have like,
Or just
some
excel at something
special
in particular, right?
yeah, excel at something like, just be like cuz if you're not say like the best scrambler, like Mahomes is not like certainly not the fastest QB say and like,
But he can get
there
away.
he can and like if he can like if his like say its running ability is like an A minus but everything else is an A plus then like that's like makes up for it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and even you could say like I don't know because I think also there's like because I think about like Joe Burrow, like I think Joe Burrow, what really separates him is just like confidence and things like that. Now he's really good at playing football, don't get me wrong, but like is
Yeah,
there
the confidence goes a
but
long way
like
for sure.
is there a trait that we say that Joe Burrow is the best in the league at, like unarguably?
I don't think so, unless we're gonna
I think
count
he's just
confidence.
yeah, probably yeah, because I think he's just really good at everything, and he just has that confidence.
His chemistry with his
Yeah,
receivers is pretty high up there. That might be the best in the league just because he's played with Jamar Chase for so
that's
long.
true. Yeah, I think that's really ultimately proven the theory that it helps to have like a quarterback and receiver who played in college together. Like it just helps.
You got built-in chemistry there, so that's definitely a huge plus.
Remember when they drafted Jamar Chase and people wanted them to draft? Was it who's the
Penei
tackle?
Sewell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, he's I don't know how is he like is he a good player?
yeah,
Like I
he's
don't
doing good. I mean, he's
yeah
helped the
that's what I
Lions' offensive
thought.
line a lot, so the both
Yeah,
teams got a good pick there. But
so I mean,
it
yeah
wouldn't have
he's
made sense for the Bengals to take him.
yeah
In
exactly
retrospect,
because
in retrospect,
my thing was like you can always worry about O line later. Yeah I don't know.
but you don't give your quarterback weapons, it's going to be tougher to develop.
That's true. That is very true. Um let's see. Do you think Justin Tucker's field goal record will be broken?
At some point, definitely. Maybe not this season, but
Yeah,
at some
probably at
point it'll
some
be
point.
broken.
I
All
guess
records are going to be broken at some point, except maybe Brady's Super Bowl records.
so is it like longest field goal or most field goal? What's I guess it's longest. I'm assuming that's the context.
That was my guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would think like at some point, like, it's like I mean, kickers are like coming out every year and like I know like, I mean, I know there are like high school kickers who have like made super long field goals, and it's like, like the reason it's actually funny because like my little brother was like asking me about this. He's like, what's the longest field goal in NFL? What's the longest field goal in high school? And like, I think someone in high school drilled a 70-yarder, but the longest in the NFL is like 67. The thing
Mm.
is, like, there are like so many more high school kickers than like NFL. So there are more opportunities to like do that. So
This is
I don't
true.
know. Yeah, probably.
If you put Tucker out there from 70 yards out, he could probably hit it.
Yeah, definitely in like the right. I think in practice he's probably hit some, but like
Yeah, we've seen him hit
yeah,
them in practice. It just doesn't
yeah,
come
I'm
up in the
sure.
game that often, you know?
I'm sure at some point because I remember when I was growing up, the longest field goal I think it was Prater and it was 64. I want to say.
Sounds
I
right.
feel like I feel like that held for a while, and then it just kind of kept getting like broken. Then obviously Justin Tucker, that epic field goal against the Lions, that like hit the crossbar and
Yeah,
went
that
in
was
anyway.
great. And of course it happened
Yeah,
against the Lions.
yeah, of course. Yeah, so I'm sure it'll be broken at some point. Now, will if you want to go deeper, like is some kicker going to overtake Justin Tucker as the greatest kicker? I mean, probably like anytime soon, probably not, but
It
you
would
know,
it would be a good while before that happened.
that's true. All right. What is the biggest rivalry in NFL history? I don't know if we're the guys to go to for like historical
I'm
anecdotes.
definitely not.
I mean, apparently Packers Bears was a vicious rivalry. But since I've been a football fan, it was never like a good rivalry. It was always lopsided,
Yeah,
to be
Aaron
frank.
Rodgers owns them.
Yeah, and maybe there was like one year where they were like both good and they would be competitive, but like it
Yeah,
seems like
no.
that's been pretty lopsided. I mean, I feel like the NFC North rivalries are always pretty good.
True.
Steelers, Browns, like it just seems like they're
Those are
always
always
very
intense, yeah.
oh yeah, they're always very very physical. It comes down to like defense and coaching and things like that. I think the AFC North is sort of like the last, I guess, breed of like, these like old fashioned, like more physical teams to where like, maybe the quarterback isn't the most important aspect. I don't know. Does that sort of make sense a little bit?
No,
Like
no,
they
no, no.
more
I get
maybe
that. I get that. Yeah.
yeah. And like, I guess like as we'll see, like because like the Steelers, like they don't have like the best quarterback in the league, but they have a really good defense and really good coach. Ravens, I mean, Lamar is not like some top two quarterback. He's not like exactly carrying the Ravens, especially when he's like injured. You can't really carry the Ravens when you're injured. So,
Mm.
we'll see with Deshaun. I guess the Bengals. I always forget the Bengals are in that division. They're their own in their own like kind of category. But
I think everybody
yeah,
hates them now at this point. They're picking up a
hates the
lot of hate.
Bengals.
Yeah, they're picking up a lot of
Oh,
hate
just
because of
just
just
because
because
they're
of
good, or
confidence. They're
oh
good. They
yeah,
got Joe
just
Burrow. A
cockiness.
lot of people love
Yeah.
him. A lot of people hate him. It goes both
Mm,
ways. I'd say an
yeah,
interesting answer
definitely.
could be Chiefs Bengals. That's looking like it's going to be the next big rivalry in the AFC.
Oh
Sort
yeah,
of like how Peyton versus Tom was in the AFC for a while. I think we got that with
definitely.
Joe and
Yeah,
Mahomes.
especially with all the trash talking that goes on. Like it's actually fun to
It's
watch. Like,
amusing, yeah.
and they still don't shut up. Like I think stuff was recently said. Like Jamar Chase was like Patrick who? Like it's like fun to watch. Like I'm here for it. Like
No,
it feels
absolutely.
like
It's this is quality entertainment.
that's definitely the most like verbal and on the field it's also very good. But like yeah, they're always meeting in the AFC Championship. Or I guess no, it was last year, the year before division. I guess it was division. No, it was AFC
I
Championship.
think it's been two
I'm
straight years. Yeah, 2 straight
yeah, no, I'm
years,
I'm crazy. Yeah, because Chiefs have been in AFC Championship for like what
five
six,
straight
7 years,
years.
8 years, 5. Yeah, that's crazy.
Ever
Yeah,
since Mahomes started there.
yeah, definitely. I would actually agree with that. That seems to be a pretty good rivalry. Obviously, it's not in division, but if they're winning their respective divisions every year, they're going to
That's
be
part of what
playing in
makes
the
it so
regular
good, though.
season. Yeah, and then they're going to be playing in the playoffs most likely. So like, it's almost like they are. It kind of reminds me, like, I'm not comparing this rivalry at all to like that rivalry, but when we were good, we would play the Patriots every year, even though we weren't in the same division. We always just won our respective divisions. So we would play, and then we had a playoff game. It just felt like a division rivalry, a lopsided one, to be frank. Yeah. No, that's a pretty good answer. I think a year ago we would have said like Chiefs and like the AFC West, but like
Chiefs and
now that
Bills, maybe.
that's also a pretty good rivalry. I
Except
guess
the Bills never win in the playoffs. If they would
true.
win a
Yeah.
playoff game, we would have that set. You know, big
Yeah,
rivalry
definitely.
there.
I feel like one rivalry that like it's always kind of, been under I think of the word under the not sun, but like under I don't know, it just seems to be a little bit underrated these days is Cowboys Eagles. So I feel like that even dates back to like, the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. Like I feel like that was not like some huge rivalry, but it was something that got attention. I think they always had the Sunday night football game or something like that. And like
Mm.
I feel like especially if the Cowboys keep being good and the Eagles are obviously Super Bowl contenders, then that's gonna be I guess we didn't really feel it last year because I think the one of the times they played it was Gardner Minshew at quarterback and they lost that game, and then the other game was Cooper Rush at quarterback. So they
Yeah,
never
they never
really,
had both starters in. We never
yeah,
got that.
I guess they never really felt it like last year. But I feel like that could be a rivalry that could heat up. I feel
Yeah,
like that's the
absolutely, absolutely.
trying to think if there are like any others, maybe some like underrated ones. I don't know, probably not. I mean, there probably are, but like,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to think of.
yeah, no, I think we covered a lot of the good rivalries. That's what makes football great, the rivalries and like the trash talking. It's always just very fun. So, all right. How long do you think Jay Jettis can be a top tier receiver? I mean,
Probably
several
to
years?
for a while. Like realistically, a couple more years, maybe someone else is going to overtake him at some point, and it'll just be like they take turns leading the league in receiving or whatever, right? But he's going to be
Right.
at the top of the league for basically his whole career, is what it looks like.
Probably, yeah. Unless he decides to play even when he's like physically not in it. Like I guess like Julio last year, like he played, but he wasn't a top receiver. But yeah, as long as, it'll be like years, if not decades might be
He
strong, but
might
at
he
least
might
it's
have one more. He
yeah.
might have a decade in him.
Yeah, probably. I mean he has decades in him. He's like the Tom Brady of receivers. Like that would be crazy. Um when is Christian Gonzalez's prime going to be? I mean, I would assume.
It seems
Who
like he's
knows?
going to have some work to do this year in the secondary. He should start immediately, right? Especially with
Probably.
the drama they're having in their secondary right now.
Wait, what drama? Am I out of
They had
touch?
they had a guy like get arrested, and sounds like he's going to be in jail
Oh
for
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
30
Jack
years.
Jones. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
and he was a
I mean,
starter, I think.
his career's over. Yeah, I think he was, but yeah, that's so stupid. Like what he did. Like
It's
I
crazy
wonder.
how these athletes can do these stupid things after they've made it. Like they make it, they get their money, they got the spotlight, and then it all goes down the drain. It's insane how quickly it
Definitely.
happens.
I mean, Henry Ruggs obviously comes to mind. Like it just like yeah, it's just crazy.
What? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm typing in chat. Okay.
No, there's like
I'm still
some
listening, and then there's an awkward
no,
silence.
there's some loud motorcycle out there, so like I was
Oh, I
listening
didn't
to
hear
that.
that.
Oh, you
That
did?
didn't pick
Yeah,
up. Nice.
that's funny. Yeah, no, yeah, that's definitely like it's just like unfortunate. I mean, I think for the NFL, like by far most of the guys are like good guys, or at least they don't like get into trouble or anything like that. But
Or
occasionally
it's
you just
covered up.
like, yeah, yeah, who knows? But like,
I
yeah,
don't
but
want to know.
occasionally you have like, what are you like? Why are you being pessimistic?
I'm not being pessimistic.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the majority of guys in the NFL are good guys,
Yeah.
or at least, yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Um, but yeah, that's also could be a factor. And also like that does remind me, Tyreek Hill's under investigation. Like, of course he is.
Of
But
course. He'll probably be fine, just like last time.
yeah, because like I don't know, it just seems like a lot of these players, they like get accused of something and then it just kind of like
It just
it's
lingers
like
and then goes away,
forgotten.
basically.
Remember when Von Miller was accused of domestic abuse or something like that?
I don't, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it was like maybe 2 years ago, and it just like never amounted to anything. Like, even wait, is what's the deal with Alvin Kamara? I thought he was gonna be like locked up or something. Like,
I think he's
there,
still got like some kind of hearing to go to at some point soon,
yeah,
like before the season. So we'll see.
yeah, I got you. Yeah, we'll see what happens from that. Um, okay, next question. Thoughts on Super Bowl 25? Well, honestly, I don't. Apparently,
Who
the
played in
Giants
Super Bowl
won
25?
the Giants won 20-19, and I assume Lawrence Taylor played in that.
Oh,
That should that would,
that's why he's asking.
yeah, that would probably just be like homework for us, just to like watch the highlights and stuff like that and let you know, which I didn't think to do. So, you might have to send us a reminder question, but yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
let's.
do any research for any of these questions. I'm literally just winging it here.
Yeah, I got you. Uh, if you could choose one NFL player to meet in real life, who would it be?
Bryce Young.
Ah, yeah. Um, well, Oh, because can I say former NFL player? Because I'd probably meet J.J. Watt, honestly.
That counts. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say that
NFL
counts.
player. Yeah, I'd definitely meet J.J. Watt. If not him, I feel like I might have a surprising answer. I would want to talk to and hang out with Geno Smith. I feel like that would be
Oh,
a
really?
really
Just because of his
yeah.
story?
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
that's
story,
fair.
he's a really cool guy. I feel like, if I just had like 30 minutes to just like talk to him and just like, not maybe he wouldn't like, I could also understand maybe he wouldn't like, he's probably asked about that stuff all the time, but like, I just feel like he's like a really cool
It
guy.
could be interesting to talk to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely.
And if I couldn't say a Panther, I might go like someone like Travis Kelsey or George Kittle because those guys are both so much fun. You know.
Oh yeah, that's true. They just have that tight end charisma, definitely. Yeah, that would be pretty cool for sure. Trying to think if there are like any other like interesting answers I would have, but yeah, I think, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say, JJ Watt, or if not, maybe like, I'd probably like, now if I had the opportunity, I'd probably think long and hard about it and like come up with an answer, like a better answer. But yeah, uh,
Yeah, harder to answer on
there's
the
a,
spot, right?
exactly.
I
Okay,
didn't
what's
hesitate
this?
with my answer.
There we go. Nice. If LeBron does like comes back, what pick in the draft we go? That's kind of okay. Like, is LeBron like LeBron's
No,
apparently getting
no,
the football
nobody
itch?
would
Like,
draft him. He's old.
yeah, he'd go undrafted. I would think.
Or maybe somebody drafts him for the publicity. I guess.
True.
If you do
Yeah.
that, you're wasting a draft pick, though.
I mean, yeah, I think that I didn't even like know he was like getting the football itch. Like, I feel like that's maybe just like
That's just
a
him talking,
non-story.
probably.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how he
Um,
is. He talks.
which team do you think is going to have the worst record of the season? I don't know. I don't think I've ever come up with a decisive answer.
Yeah,
Like,
we go back and forth on it.
yeah, I
I'm gonna
mean,
say whoever finishes last in the AFC South will have the worst record in the league. That's what I'm going with.
yeah, I would agree.
I know
Although
everybody
I mean,
says Arizona, but I'm gonna be that guy. They're gonna win some games late in the season when Kyler gets back. They're not gonna get that first pick. I'm going with
yeah,
that.
I feel like so. I'm actually thinking about that was actually one of my video ideas for the future. Is like ranking the teams most likely to get Caleb Williams. And I don't know that Arizona would be up there. A, because like I don't think they're gonna like get the first overall pick. And B, even if you could like trade up for it or something, like if you think there's something left in Kyler, wouldn't you like just let
You
him
trade him,
recover from okay, well,
trade him
if
and
you
get
want to take
Caleb.
that angle,
That's what I would do if you're
you want to take
rebuilding at
that
that
angle,
point.
that's fine. Because the angle I was thinking is you just try and nurture him and use because they also have our pick as well. So just use those picks to like surround Kyler rather than just but okay, you're just brute force trade him. He sucks. Okay, I get that.
I don't think he sucks, but like
Josh
if you can
Rosen
get
all
something
over
for him
again.
and get Caleb Williams, then I would do that.
Yes. Which team do we think will have the best record? So best regular season record?
I'm gonna
I
say
feel like
Philadelphia.
that's what I was thinking as well. Because I think it'll be easier in the NFC to get wins than
Right.
the AFC. Now, obviously, I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl until they prove me wrong. But as far as like just best regular season record, yeah, probably Eagles. I would probably say that.
It feels like
I
the
mean,
safer pick.
I feel like the NFL is so crazy. We're gonna see like the Seahawks go 15-2 and go to the Super Bowl. Like something crazy like that's gonna happen. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. Or the Panthers. You never know.
Yeah, we're going 17 to
See.
0.
Exactly. Okay, if we could meet one coach, which coach would it be?
Frank Reich. If I couldn't
Nice.
choose him, then probably from current coaches, I'd probably meet Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Seems like he'd be fun.
Yeah, I would also
Oh, you know
probably
what? You know
say
what? No, I take that back. I would meet Mike McDaniel.
yeah, that's a good
I'd
answer
meet
as
Miami's
well.
coach. He would be fun.
Yeah, I would yeah, I would agree. I would just meet D'Amico Ryans and he is the Texans coach, but he's also like very cool and like charismatic and like, because I feel like last year, like I'm sure meeting Levy Smith would have been cool, but I don't know if I would have chosen him. He's just like I don't know, and
Yeah,
I like him. He's a good guy. He just kind of it's just kind of very meh.
that's fair, I
Okay,
guess.
if I had like a bonus like 5 minutes to just ask someone a question, I would go to Bill Belichick and be like, "Why the heck did you hire Matt Patricia or as your offense? What were you thinking?" And then I just leave and then find the actual coach I would go talk to. Which I agree. I honestly was also thinking Mike McDaniel, but I'll try to come up with a different answer. Um, Let me think. So I actually have an answer. I'm just trying to think. I actually would say I actually would probably meet Frank Reich as well. And
Heck, there we go.
the reason is it feels like if you don't know he's like a football coach, he just seems like a regular guy, right? Like he just seems like a regular guy, feels like he has, like kids, grandkids. I think he's like Christian, right? He's like religious, so he probably goes
Mm.
to like Bible study stuff like that and like I would just like he just seems very chill for like a head coach. Like I don't even know if he like curses or anything like that. I mean, so I would just be like curious because it just seems I'd just be curious to see like just like how he like handles himself like when he's I mean I don't know if I could take that away from a conversation, but that just seemed like very interesting. He just seems like very interesting, like just as a coach. He's like a coach, but he's like just a very chill personality.
Yeah, he's
And
pretty
like some
cool. Yeah.
coaches, some coaches they also seem chill, but I know on the field they're also like very intense. And maybe that's Frank Reich. I don't even know, but I would just be interested to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, that's a
So
good answer. I like your answer a lot, I gotta say.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder why.
Okay, wait, we
Yeah,
got a question
I
from
was like,
chat, by the way.
yeah,
Were you
go
gonna
for
say
it.
something? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like you never compliment my answers. So like, I was like,
Unless I really, really like them, and I really liked that answer. I think that was a great answer
of
for no
course,
particular reason. Question from
yeah.
chat: Who was better in 2008, Steelers or Patriots? I have no idea what happened in 2008, so
Well, the '07, it was '07. The Patriots went 19-0 and then
and
lost
then
the
they lost
Super
the
Bowl.
Super Bowl, right? Did they
But I
win
don't
the
know
year
about
after?
like I don't was '08. I think '09 was the year that Brady got hurt, but I could be mistaken. Let's see, 2008 New England Patriots.
I don't know
Yes,
what
that
happened
was
in
that was
2008.
the year they went 11-5. Yeah, 11-5, missed the playoffs, and Tom Brady was out. And
Okay, so
then
probably the Steelers then.
probably the Steelers, who went 12-4 and won the Super Bowl. So
Oh, that was the year they won the Super Bowl.
yeah, so I think it's safe to
I
say
don't know.
probably
I
that
was
year.
thinking 2010 for some reason, but no, that's not right at all. No.
Yeah, it's probably that year alone. Steelers were the better team. Let's see if they played that year, just out of curiosity. They probably did. Oh, maybe they didn't. I guess they hadn't. Oh, they did. They crushed the Patriots 33-10. So
Dang.
I think that confirms our answer. Good question though. Uh, let's see. See if there's anything else we want to answer. Okay, we can't choose the Texans or Panthers. If you had to pick a stadium to watch every single game in, which one would it be?
Ugh. Uh. Okay, so I'm a little torn here. I'm thinking I might choose a rival stadium.
So yes, you can watch the
I would think
Panthers.
about going to Mercedes-Benz, honestly. Just go to the Falcon Stadium. They got a great stadium. One of the best. Maybe the best. And I don't know. I wouldn't want to go to a rival's stadium though at the same time, you know?
Yeah, because you're like a Panthers fan and just
Yeah,
like
it would
yeah,
feel so wrong no matter how nice it actually is.
that's true. Yeah,
So I
and
don't think I could disgrace
I don't
myself
get the
like that.
impression that like your rivals. I feel like maybe the Bucks have a cool stadium. Honestly, no bias, but it doesn't seem like they have the most impressive like stadium. So is it Falcons, Bucks, and Saints? I guess the Superdome could be interesting, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but I've been there, so I don't want to go back. I mean, it was great, but I've been
Oh,
there.
you were there
If
for
I
the
if I
bowl
can go
game?
somewhere else, I'd go there. Yeah, I went to the Sugar Bowl in 2020.
Oh yeah, yeah. That against Baylor?
Yeah, that was Georgia
You
Baylor.
were at
Funny
oh
enough.
you were at that game?
Yeah,
I guess I never. That's funny. I guess I
That
never
is
made that
funny, right?
connection.
Baylor fan
Yeah,
right here.
that's true. We lost, right? That was the one y'all won.
Yeah, that was Matt Rule's
Yeah,
final game at Baylor before he cursed Carolina even more.
that's
There's
so
so many
ironic.
storylines here.
No, that's so ironic. You were wow. I think you did curse the Panthers because of Matt Rule.
Yep,
Yeah. What can I say?
mistakes were made.
True. So yeah,
So
did you have an answer?
I'll give an answer. I think I would go to Dallas Stadium. Honestly, I think that'd be
Yeah.
a cool place to go hang out just for all the games. I think that's like one of the most expensive stadiums to get into as well, if I'm not mistaken, because it's America's team,
Yeah.
most popular team, I
Right.
think. So
No, I've actually been there. I was there for the Big 12 championship in 2021 when we beat
yeah,
Oklahoma State.
I remember
They
that.
had like yeah, so like it's epic. Now I don't know, I haven't been to like all the stadiums. I don't know how it like compares necessarily, but it's
Mhm.
like huge and it's just like huge and it almost feels like in a way like the football field is just like a small fraction of like the actual stadium. Like there's just a bunch going on. It's like surreal.
Sounds
I've also
interesting.
I've also been to NRG Stadium, which again was very cool, but I would definitely say AT&T was much better.
Mm.
Unfortunately, yeah, Cowboys. But
I mean,
yeah,
I got relatives who are Cowboys fans too, so that would also be kind of interesting for me, so I could come back and report how it was.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So yeah, I would say I probably wouldn't choose Cowboys just on the basis that I've been there before.
Yeah, that's fair.
One stadium I was thinking of is I actually feel like the Seahawks stadium would be interesting. I feel like I've heard interesting things about, and they have like the whole 12th man concept, and it
Yeah,
seems
for a
like
while they were the loudest stadium in the league. I don't know if
that's
they still
true.
are, but for a while they
Yeah.
were.
So I feel like that would be interesting. Now
That'd be a
maybe
cool
like I don't,
atmosphere to be in.
yeah, and weirdly, Seattle weather, I feel like, cause I actually like, like cloudy, rainy, gloomy weather. It's kind of a weird trait of mine. So I feel like I would just jive with that weather, honestly. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but also maybe the Titan Stadium would be interesting. Just so I could visit like, because I think Nashville seems like a pretty cool city.
True.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, just trying to think if there are like other answers.
Pretty
And I
much
feel
any
like the
dome would be nice to go to, really, just
Yeah, I
because
feel
it's
like
a
the
dome.
Ram Stadium would be cool, but also if I have to drive in LA traffic, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
So,
that wouldn't be pleasant.
right. So, no, I think those are some answers. Says my answer is the Seahawks Stadium and yours is the Cowboys Stadium,
Yeah, I think I'll
AT&T
go with Cowboys
Stadium.
Stadium. Yeah.
Yep. Uh, let's see. Oh, I think I didn't read these conditions. Let me just make sure. You would have access to like every part of the stadium, but you would have to watch every game you wanted to watch in that stadium. So that's
Okay.
actually interesting because like logistically, I don't know if I want to go to Seattle every Sunday or like, every week. Like, because if I'm saying logistically, I probably just choose
I mean,
AT and T.
can we stay there every week? Can we just stay in the stadium?
That means I'm gonna like have to cancel all of my like plans for the coming fall just to
Honestly, to
like
live in an NFL stadium, that's worth it.
oh well to live.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't
if
know. It
that's on the
sounds
table,
cool.
like that sounds cool.
It sounds cool, or I can just go to AT&T Stadium every week, even though I've been there already. Just do that and then watch all the Cowboys
Mm.
games because there are gonna be some cool games that I'm not sure like with the schedule, like what I'm sure there's gonna be some cool Cowboys Eagles game, like I don't know, but yeah, I feel like so if it had to come to that, I guess I'd choose Cowboys Stadium. Let's
All
see.
right.
Okay,
Oh, basically, you
what?
somehow just show up there magically. Oh, okay. So we're gonna show up there magically.
Ah,
All of that
okay,
is
so
out of the equation.
so I
No
can show
traffic,
up
no
magic.
traveling.
Yeah, so I can show up magically. Then I'd probably do. I'd probably look a little bit into it, but I'm thinking Seahawks Stadium just from the top of my head. I
I'll
would
stick
also
with the Dallas
wonder.
Stadium.
Yeah, I would probably regret this decision, but maybe even like a stadium that snows, like Buffalo or something like that. I feel like again, it
Yeah,
seems
you
cool.
might
I
come
feel
to
like I would.
regret that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we talked about like owners and players or no, sorry, players and coaches we would want to meet, what owner would we want to be our friend?
Carolina's
Would
owner.
be
I'm David Tepper. He'd be my buddy.
that's a weird way like to be friends with these like 70-year-old billionaire owners. I will translate that and just be like, which owner would we want to meet? Um,
Still David Tepper for me. Carolina's owner. Easy, easy pick.
yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I actually would. I actually feel like I would want to meet David Tepper for like his business advice because he's like a really good
Absolutely.
businessman. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure like all these owners are, or most of them. Well, yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, they gotta be smart to some
definitely,
extent in terms of business.
you know, some of them, Cough Cal McNair, definitely like inherited it, but you know, yeah, I mean, I guess like, well, I want to give my own answer now. Maybe, honestly, probably just for this, I probably just want to meet Jerry Jones just for the sake of it. I know it's not
Okay.
gonna be the popular answer, but I feel like it would be
No,
much
no, that's a
cooler to
good
tell
answer. That's a good
people
answer.
I met and talked to Jerry Jones than like almost any other owner, even like Robert Kraft. Like I'd rather meet
Hey,
Jerry
I'd
Jones.
go be friends with Jerry Jones. That sounds good.
True. All right, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm gonna charge my phone real quick, then I'll be right back.
All right,
Very
sounds
quick
good.
intermission.
Very quick intermission. Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm all alone now. This is awkward.
So lonely.
I am. I'm so lonely. And there's a chat delay too, so I can't even try to entertain chat because all their messages are gonna come in. Well, they'd be coming in right about now if they said anything.
Right. Okay, besides Texans and Panthers, who would you
If we
want to
can't choose
spend
our own team,
Yeah. So besides our teams, um, who would you want to spend a day at training camp with?
probably the Chiefs, just to see Mahomes sling the ball everywhere.
Yeah, honestly, that would be
That
cool.
would be entertaining. Sign me up
Yeah,
for that.
definitely. I would agree with that. I would probably say, and Kansas City, I would think qualifies, but probably some like colder weather team in like the summer. That would just be like a more pleasant experience than going to like
Yeah, you wouldn't
Houston
want to go
or
to Miami, for
something like
example.
that. Yeah, so
That suffer in Miami.
I'd probably, if I had to give like a different answer, maybe I don't know. She didn't say that I couldn't say Carolina, so I'd probably just go to Carolina and just
There we
see like
go.
what Bryce Young looks like.
See
Maybe
how
I
tall
check
he
the
really
weather.
is.
Maybe I would go. I was gonna say Jets, but I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is practicing. Like you just don't know. I think he is some. I never. I
He
always lose
should
track.
be to some extent.
Yeah, I think he skips. He skips OTAs normally, right? Or
Yeah,
he's
but training camp,
different.
different story, right?
I guess she did say training camp, which Aaron Rodgers should be there. So yeah, I might actually just want to watch the Jets.
That's fair.
All right. I'll do this because it's kind of goofy. What team is the best at video games? Not Cardinals because of Kyler.
Well, look,
I don't
obviously
know.
Carolina is the best at video games, okay?
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I have no
All
reason
right.
why, I'm just gonna say Carolina.
I'm gonna say. Let me see. I'm gonna say the Raiders.
Why the Raiders? Is there any reason, or is it just because? Because
No
you thought
reason.
about it, so I just wonder if there's any reason.
No, I was trying to think of like a random team, and like my randomness landed on the Raiders.
They are pretty
I
random.
feel like if it's Las Vegas, I feel like that would actually make some sense. They're probably like
Yeah, they
just
can rig
going
it.
out
They
and
can
things
rig
like
it.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a good
Who do
answer
you think
then.
has who do you think has shown the most improvement at camps? Well, training camp hasn't started yet, right? So maybe like he's
Maybe
meaning
just
like
like this off season.
yeah, just the general off season.
My guy Terrace Marshall Jr. He has shown massive improvement.
All
You
right,
know I have
we'll
to
just
say
leave it at
that.
that. Yes, we will just leave it at that. Let's see. Um, Let me see which ones I want to. Oh, that's like all the questions I chose to ask. Let me just make sure that I didn't like miss any, but there were some I left out because they were goofy. Why has
Imagine
Danny no
that.
Bucks simp? I mean, I've done it enough.
Over 100 times now.
That's true. That's very true.
Congratulations.
Well, if you have any questions, I mean, we're cool to like hang out, I guess, if you are, but just feel free to drop him in the chat and we will happily interact.
That happily sounded a bit too forced to be believed. You got to try that again.
Hey, all are the steel hey, all the Steelers are improving. Oh, she was saying the Steelers are improving. She wasn't asking if they were improving, which I was gonna answer that, but she was making a statement, so we will leave it at that.
You don't have to flex, honestly. Your whole team is improving. We get it. It's not our fault that our teams aren't improving.
They post each person's improvements on IG saying, no.
Yeah, we will not be singing here on Football for Fun. Thank you.
No,
we don't do that around here.
Definitely not.
No, never ever.
Did no one notice what's different about my view?
Yeah, Jubilee noticed almost immediately.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't know if anyone else said it though. I missed some messages in chat.
Yeah.
Lighty, sing in your dreams.
Exactly.
Who is the strongest player in the NFL?
Strongest?
Aaron Donald comes to mind. He's a beast.
Aaron Donald comes to mind. Feel like, yeah, that's probably, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good enough answer right there.
That's true.
All right. Any other questions from chat? There's like 5 to 7 second delay from us to the chat, so
yeah,
good stuff. Apparently, I failed to fix it. The internet lied to me. It led me astray.
Of course they did.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yep.
No questions.
Yep, seems like there are no questions at the moment.
Oh boy, want to hear a joke. We've
Not
made this mistake multiple times.
Yeah, I think we're good.
There is quite the delay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I tried to fix it. I did exactly what the internet said, and it didn't
I'll ask chat a question. Now, I don't want goofy answers. I want like legit, or I mean, you can say whatever you want. I'm just not going to listen to it. Do y'all have any video ideas for us, whether it be shorts or like longer videos?
Oh yeah, that would be great if you guys have ideas. We ask all the time and don't get answers legitimately.
Yeah, good ideas. I don't want like predicting the 2027 NFL draft. Like,
who will be Mr. Irrelevant in the 2033 draft?
Yeah, he's probably still in elementary. I don't know if that math works, but any video recommendations. If y'all need time to think, we will.
I mean, you guys can just post it in Discord too. We have a channel in the server for that.
That's true.
I think it's literally called Video Ideas. I think we have a channel called Video Ideas.
Just think about it, Jubilee. You'll get there. You'll think of it. That's honestly like me with a lot of my like a lot of my video ideas are just in my brain and then I just forget about them.
Yeah, so, I gotta write it down or I'll forget. It'll never come back to me.
Yeah, it happens.
I don't know what Celtic was going on about earlier.
It's a story, yeah.
It's alright, you can tell us when you remember it. Either within the next 5 minutes or within the next 5 weeks. Whatever works.
Yep.
That channel is for when you get muted. Maybe try not getting muted. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
There's
true.
one forbidden word, apparently. That's it. And somehow people continue to say it. It's kind of impressive in a way.
It's the famous 4-letter word, right?
Yeah, you know the one.
Yeah.
Why football is the best sport? I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. It's football. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if I want to make that video. It's like it's kind of subjective, honestly. Now it
This
is the
is
best,
true.
but
This is true.
maybe like why I like it does remind me of a video idea I had talking about like my moments as a Texans fan. I feel like that would be cool.
Yeah, I think we said early on at some point we should tell our fan stories, like how we got into it, why we're fans, why we love football, that sort of thing. We never got around to doing that.
So
28 to
28,
3.
maybe. Yeah, I mean it was a historic Super Bowl that I watched, so that's an idea.
I remember hating that result at the time. Now I'm really glad about it.
I remember being conflicted because my family was all rooting against the Patriots, but I was secretly rooting for the Patriots because I had picked them in my pick'em league. And if I get it right,
Yeah.
I think I won third place and maybe won like $20 or something like that. But it wasn't until like overtime I told my parents, I'm actually rooting for the Patriots, but if they lose, that's also fine.
And then they won.
Yep.
Oh,
That was
maybe I thought you guys should rank NFL stadiums. Now that could be fun. I think that'd
actually
be
could
really
be
hard to
fun.
do though.
Yeah, we'd
Maybe
have to
maybe
just
we
like
could leave
like
like rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, Like we could just go through, look at pictures of each one and rate them based on what we see.
yeah, I just have to do our research. Yeah,
I,
it would
I
be
don't think
kind
we
of
could put them
hard.
in a ranking though. That would be ridiculously hard.
It would be hard to like rank stadiums that I've never been to. Honestly, it's just like hard to do that. But I mean, that could be an idea.
I think we can definitely work with that.
Top rivals screw you in free agency. Could be if there's like we can think about it. Like you know, I guess there's some ideas.
Nothing comes to mind for me immediately on that.
I mean, I know there's like apparently the Patriots made a trade in the draft to screw over the Jets. Which I guess that's
Yeah,
draft,
but
not
that's a
necessarily.
draft, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be hard, but to test your knowledge, test your skills. This is true. This is true. We could work with that. We might need to modify the idea to make it easy on us.
Very true.
Hard, sus.
Oh,
Nothing sus about that, Celtic. Favre, what about him?
oh, he was saying
Oh, the
like
Vikings signed him.
moves. Like yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that didn't exactly work out too well for the Vikings, I don't think. So,
Yeah, and like I feel like feels like a lot of people have like talked about it. It just wouldn't really. It wouldn't be my type of video, honestly. Like I like just like I don't know, being like predictive and just
yeah,
like
that's fun.
things like
And then
that.
ranking,
Yeah, right.
yeah, that's what we do. Hmm. Anything else from chat? Jackson Mahomes video. Everybody talks about Jackson Mahomes. Why would we do that? Like that's what
I
Jackson
mean,
wants. He wants the attention. I don't want to talk
I
about
mean,
him.
dude. Well, yeah. I mean, if he wants to collab, I would
Oh,
probably
yeah, we
do
can do that.
it for the attention. Yeah, and then we would like get our attention. Our attention would go up, and then we will actually use it for good rather than
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
It would be the opposite of Jackson
yeah.
Mahomes.
Jackson Mahomes, if you're out there, if you want to collab, then I'll
Yeah,
just
hit us
be
up.
like,
We got you.
why'd you do what you did when there are like cameras out? Like that's just stupid.
You should end because I got to go to bed. That's a good reason. Lag? What lag? He's spamming lag in the chat. What do you mean? NFL best Super Bowls? I know I personally couldn't do that. I've only seen a few. The last
Yeah,
10 years, I guess. Something like that.
yeah.
Well, if she's leaving, that leaves us with Celtic. And Celtic, do you have any more suggestions?
I mean, we could probably. I'm fine calling it a day.
Yeah, it is about time to
If there's
wrap
any
up
suggestions,
anyway.
you can just put them in the Discord.
Yeah, we got
Well-
video suggestions, whatever it is, in Discord server. We got multiple channels. You can suggest ideas there. Or, you could just DM
Yep.
one of us.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Football for Fun. And if you're like, watching the VOD later on, thank you so much for making it this far. And I think that's about it. We will see you next week for
For
another
sure.
episode of Football for Fun.
There we go. Thank y'all for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. See y'all next time. Take care, and good night.
Bye.